So I'm going to share screen and I'm going to start with showing you all the first part of the next session that we're doing, which is on 3Cs. I want to show you that just because it's like a really cool one we've done, yeah. And once I show you that, then I'll just go around showing you the tools that we're using. It's very basic, very simple. There's not much to it. Um, it'll probably take me 10-15 minutes to show you guys all the tools. And then once we're done with that, I want you guys to start your own Prezis and then I'll help you out creating something. Sounds good? Cool. Okay, so this one is session 4. Okay, so last time we had done 6 dimensions of column layout with these guys. And what Vishwas said, since I was using like a human form to portray the 3Cs as well, Vishwas wondered, he was like, oh, do you think we can use the same facilitator um, icon of the human being and then do 3Cs on that person itself? So then I was like, yeah, sure. And we moved on. And that's why we're starting from there and moving on to 3Cs. And then, so I was thinking the first part of that 3C is the inner circle is conditioning, right? And I was like, that's what we're made of. So which is why we came to this. And then I thought we're made of all these things inside us, our organs, our flesh and everything. But then we're also made up of our upbringing and our memories and our thoughts, our childhood, our education, our beliefs, our experiences, etc., etc., etc. And that makes up our conditioning. And then the second thought in the whole 3Cs thing was that our conditioning is what leads to our conduct. And that's why this is how I chose to show that. And then that's called the conduct. And then I thought that I wanted to put this arrow because I thought that conditioning and conduct keeps running into each other, almost like a cycle or back and forth. And then there was so there was this one line in Vishwas's presentation which said that oops, one sec. So yeah, there's one line which said that when we're not aware of who we are and what we're doing, we allow our preferences and prejudices to flow through the thin membrane of consciousness, unregulated into our conduct. Yeah, and that thin membrane of consciousness really caught my eye. And as soon as I saw that, right, I was like, oh, I want to make that thin membrane and like go all the way in there. So that's what I did after that. I thought it was really cool. And it says, but when we take the time to think who the audience is, and then I think we come back out completely from there. Yeah. And now that consciousness is like changing our conduct and our conditioning. Yeah. So that is the piece I wanted to show you guys. Now I'm just going to open up a new Prezi and then work on that. Feel free to ask me.
So sorry, Chetan. So
yeah.
Sorry, Vivek here. So
Yeah.
while it is a Prezi, I think it's a lot with ideation and visualization also, right?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
So while it's a Prezi,
yeah,
it's lot. I think what I see is a lot of visualization and creativity.
Yeah.
It's not only the mere copy paste types.
You want me to teach you all that also, right?
No, no, no. I'm just setting the bottom line.
Oh no,
If you
yeah.
could teach, nothing like it. Yeah.
I think it's all about that, man. Because like I'll show you the tools in Prezi, and then we get into all of that. Like I think I was saving all of that conversation for the end of the session. So okay, so when you get here, you want to create a new one, and then it brings you to this. And what I do is I just use a blank one, um, and you say use this template. Let's call it Prezi trial. And you'll have to, if you're using the free version, you have to use anyone on the web, because if you do people I share with, then you have to be on the paid version. So do anyone on the web and continue. So now in this part of it, if you have any questions, just ask there itself. Yeah, if you don't.
So I have a question. This is Paradhi. So
Yeah,
you said that we'll have to click on like anybody on the web can see. So if we are making a presentation for work or something,
yeah,
so we will have to use the paid version. Because if we click on anyone to see, so anybody can have access to our presentations.
yeah. But they'll only have access to it if you send them a link, or if someone else sends them the link to view it. If you don't
Okay.
share the link with them, then there's no way they'll find it by themselves.
All right. Thank you.
Also, you can call me Chaitanya.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the blank standard format that it comes with, yeah. And now I want to select all this and just delete it. So what I do is I hold Shift and then I select everything. So you have to hold Shift, because otherwise, if you just try to move something, then the whole thing moves. If nothing's selected, then the whole thing moves. Or if the arrow's on this and I move this, then this will move. So right now I just want to select everything and delete it. So I'm going to hold Shift and then I'm going to draw this square which selects everything and then just delete it. All right, now we have a blank presentation. Um, so I look at this very simple. Yeah, we're just going to go through whatever we can insert in here. Um, First, let's start with text. So we go to Insert and we go to Text. And that brings us a text here. Now let's move here. Let's write, what should we write?
Chetan's first class.
Okay. Now, so once I write whatever I want to write, and then I'm going to select this. When I select it, there's all these other things on top, yeah, other tools on top. I'm going to go and change the font. Um, there's these, and then if you go to more fonts, there's a lot more, but I feel there's more than enough fonts. So let's say we're going to use this one. I really like this one. Okay. Then let's write something else. Let's put another text in there. And I'm going to use, let's say, another font for this. Okay. And then, so this one increases size. This one will decrease the size. There's also, if I want the text to fit in a certain space, then I can use this. So it'll keep the same size, but it'll fit it in that much space, yeah, or more space. So sometimes I use that and then I'll reduce the size because I want it to be in one line. And then let's say I want this centered. And maybe I want a different color for the background. And then maybe I change the font color to white. Okay, let's say this is what it's at. Now, So the next thing the inserting an image, inserting a PDF, putting a shape, putting an arrow, all of those things are very similar to what we just did with the text, in terms of bringing some icon or a graphic element in, and then you can either change the color of the shape or the arrow and all that, or whatever image. Let's say we picked up an image from the internet and cropped it however we want, and then you want to put it in here. Um, so the interesting bit starts when we start animating all of this, right? So let's go into insert and then animation here. So now this is where all your movement and everything is going to be. So firstly, let's say we want like an area that it's going to zoom into or start with. So let's do add zoom area. Okay. Now there's this, and then I'll move this around to basically encompass this whole thing. Is everyone following? In case there's something you're not following, just ask me. Yeah. If you're not saying anything, I'll assume you're all following.
Yes, yes, all good until now.
Cool. Okay, so you see this gray line here. That's our first screen. That's our first zoom where it's going to be at. And then let's say that I'm going to make this centered and maybe centered in this window as well. Yeah. Okay. Now I want this to fade in once we reach that zoom area. So I select this text and then I go to this and fade in. So that's going to fade in that way. And then let's say we want this to fade in after that. So again, we go and fade in. So these are the three animations we have right now. Right now, let's just have a look at how this looks. So I go to present on top. Did you guys see that present button? Cool.
Yeah.
So present on top, and then when I press next, will this Prezi be fun? I don't know. Let's go in and find out. So now let's actually go in there, right? What we did with that whole consciousness thing where we went right inside the thing. So let's try to do that one. So I'm going to do, in this animations bit, I'm going to add a zoom area. And then I can move this around and go, let's say we'll go in on in or between go and in. So I'm just going to make that smaller. And then if I just use two fingers on my Mac, if I just use two fingers to scroll, then it goes in and out. Yeah. So depending on whatever system you're using, if you just scroll, then it'll go in or out. And then let's put this right in here, and maybe go in even further.
What is this rectangle,
So
Jason?
we added another zoom area. So in the beginning, we added one zoom area, right, which took us to that to the start point.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This gray thing here is the first zoom area, which is this here, right?
Okay.
And then we fade in this, and then we fade in this second text, and then now we're adding another zoom area, which is basically going to go all the way in there. So
All
the
right.
zoom area is basically whenever you click next and that zoom area animation comes, the camera is going to move to that.
Okay.
Right? So I want to make it really small and like go all the way in there. Okay. And here's a cool thing that I realized later. Because I was seeing all these other prezis, and this is right now just like going straight from one to the other, right? I was like, hey, I want to do the whole twist thing. Yeah? So how you do that is basically anything in Prezi, if you want to rotate it, you hold for Mac, you hold the command button or the Apple button. And for Windows, it might be control, I think. We'll have to, when you guys try it out, then you check it out, yeah? But here I'm going to hold command, and then I'm going to rotate this way. So now when we actually use that zoom, it's going to go like that. So let's see how this looks here. yeah, and then we put in some new animation here. Now, okay, let's put something else in there. So, because right now, like when you come out of it, now we're in the full overview of the whole thing, right? One way to go in there is if I like when I put my mouse over this, it gets highlighted, and if I double click that, then it'll automatically go there. So this is while we're editing, we still need to be able to maneuver around things, yeah. And then again, if you see this, now I'm going to just scroll in a little bit until my cursor gives me that. Yeah, and then once that comes in there, once you see this kind of an arrow, right? Now if I double click, it's going to take me all the way in there, right? And then let's insert. Okay, I'm going to insert a PDF in this, yeah, and I'll just check. Okay, and now while that is selected, maybe I'm going to fade this in once we reach inside the purple. What else should we? Let's just explore what else we can import in here. Let's go for a shape. So we're going to add this. And let's say you guys see this whole thing, right? So this is the fill color of the shape. Here, yellow. And this is an outline of the shape. Maybe let's do black for now. And this is the thickness of the border of the outline. Okay. And one cool thing I think is that they've got very limited stuff you can do anyways, but that invites you to then be more creative with it. Of course, in their presets, they've got a lot of stuff. Yeah, so if you guys want to use one of the presets and then modify those for your own presentations, that's completely cool. And there'll be a lot of stuff, a lot of graphics and all that that's already in there. But I've been using the basics because I've been creating all the graphics anyways. Um, okay, arrow. Let's look at an arrow. So that's that, and then let's say I move this here, and then I give it some curve. And same thing with the arrow, I can change the color from here. And I can change the thickness.
So, Chetan, I just saw you bend the arrow yourself. There is no bent arrow available.
No, so you got to bend it when you pick an arrow, it'll come straight like this, and then you just pick this middle part, and then you bend it however you want.
This is cool. So the presentation you showed earlier, Vishwas's thing, you had used some curved arrows for 3C model. So you had done those bent arrows.
Yeah, that was those in the 3C one that I showed. I've used these arrows only.
So okay.
But only that arrow on the side with the conditioning and all of that. That was a graphic actually. That's not an inbuilt arrow there. I created that in Illustrator and then got it in here like as a PDF.
So where do you use them? Which one do you
That
use
one,
to create?
you saw that arrow with conditioning and conduct के बीच में there was black and white.
Yeah.
That one in Prezi. That one is like a PDF that I created and I brought it into Prezi. But in Prezi,
And where do you?
kind of arrow. Sorry, I didn't get
Which
you.
software you use to create the
I use
art?
Illustrator.
Illustrator, okay. So the same one जो मैंने इसका देखा था, Vishwas's story on that girl climbing 40 feet.
हाँ.
There's also that drawing, right?
Yeah, that is also an Illustrator.
Okay, that's cool, man.
Cool. So let's spend 2 minutes and just see what else we can add. I generally don't put a video in here. I haven't seen that. Y'all can try it out if you want. I haven't used charts as well. But anyways, let's not use charts right now. Oh, you need a paid version for the charts. Sorry. Cool. So Do you guys want to start your prezis? Yeah, you guys have something you want to make, you want to create today?
So Chetan, I just have a question.
Yeah,
So when you put in the PDF there,
yeah.
what does that mean? Like, is that like a PDF image or a file? Like, what happens to that PDF? मतलब तुमने क्या डाला अभी exactly वहाँ पे?
मैंने पीडीएफ डाला वो इन्फिनिटी वाला, तो वो बिकॉज आई वाज क्रिएटिंग समथिंग, उसके लिए मैंने वो पीडीएफ एक बनाया था, सो
हाँ हाँ.
that pdf in there. But basically you can use any image that you find or anything that you want to use, either a pdf or an image.
Like it should just be like a single image PDF, right? Like not a PDF file or something. It's
If you put a pdf file also, it will basically show you all the pages that are there in the pdf, and you can choose which ones you want to import.
acha. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
If you already have a PDF file that you want to bring all that stuff in here, then you can literally bring it in and then just import all those images. So it'll import all the pages in there.
got it, man. Yeah, okay.
So how about this? How about you guys open up Prezi and start creating something? If you have a code already, you start creating it, type in the text, see how you think about how you want to move it around and all of that. Till then, if anyone else has something that they want to ask or they missed out in the beginning or something, then you let me know and I'll repeat the stuff. But those guys who've got it already, you start creating your stuff.
So, Chetan, Vivek here. If you could share a few things on using Prezi with Zoom, yeah. You briefly mentioned if you click here and there, thoda panga hota hai. So I'll tell you today I'm using Microsoft PowerPoint with Zoom. So there is a window called Share Window, and you share PowerPoint and on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So in Prezi, how does that work?
It's the same. It's the same. So, okay, let me share my screen and show you. But it's the same. So now you can see my Zoom window, right?
No, Prezi window.
You can see my Prezi window or Zoom window?
दोनों दिख रहा है ना, Zoom साइड में दिख रहा है, Prezi बीच में दिख रहा है.
अच्छा ऐसा है क्या? एक मिनट.
अभी Zoom दिख रहा है.
नहीं, अभी तुम्हारा Zoom दिख रहा है ना?
मीनिंग जो अपना प्रोग्राम चल रहा है वो दिख रहा है.
हाँ हाँ, वो ठीक है. So now you can see my Prezi.
Yes.
So now when I do share screen, it's going to come to this here. And let's say I'm here, and let's say I'm going to present the fourth session. So I just come here and I present, and then press play. Then make sure that I'm full screen. In this corner out here, there's a full screen button. That's it. And then I just got to press next for the next slide. The only thing you have to remember is that if I, like, let's say now I'm moving, I've got all of you guys floating around out here, right? Now, let's say I want to move you guys thoda sa, or I want to click on annotate or something like that. So now I've basically clicked on Zoom. Now when I press next, Prezi is not going to work. It's just going to stay frozen. So for me to move Prezi again, I just have to click on that Prezi wala screen once more. And once I do that, I'm in Prezi, and then I click next and it works again. That's the only thing. Baki kuch nahi.
So one more question. See, in Microsoft PowerPoint, let's say you have 15 slides, right? So let's say I'm on slide number 14. I play in a presentation mode. I move from 14, 15, 16, right? In Prezi, you have connected everything with the animation now.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm at step number 4.
Yeah.
In an animated fashion.
Yeah.
If I take a break, I do some exercise, can I resume from that particular point again?
Yeah, I mean, this Prezi will remain like this. If we quit right now, like if let's say we're somewhere around here, right? Let's say we're here and we stop sharing, and we're here now. And then let's say we've taken a break and we come back. I just go back and I share and we're right there. Unless I close the Prezi.
Okay.
And if I close the Prezi, let's say, let's try and do that as well. So let's say I sleep this and I close the Prezi. And let's say now we've come back after a break or whatever, right? So if I go to present, I'll have to go slide by slide to wherever I need to go. And in some of these Prezis, we've got like 200, 300 animations going on.
Yeah.
So it would be tedious just in case galti se band ho gaya ya kuch to bhi. But the trick to getting back, like jumping to a certain point, is you go to edit instead of play. And when you go to edit and then you present from your editing side of it, I'll just wait for it.
Like in PowerPoint, you can jump to any slide, right? You type the slide number, hit enter, you jump there.
Yeah.
So Prezi में, how do you
There is
go
a way.
back?
There is a way. ये अभी जैसा अभी वो edit वाले में गए ना हम लोग, इसके पहले when I was
Yeah.
presenting, I went to present. I went to that play button. So if I go to that play button, I can't jump slides. I have to
Yeah.
go sequentially.
Yeah.
But if I go to the edit and then I present from here, if I present from the edit part of it,
Yeah.
then there's this timeline down here. And then in the timeline, I can move to wherever.
Ah.
Then it'll jump directly to.
But I need to remember which time I want to jump to.
You can see it here. When you click here, right?
Preview दिख रहा है.
So right now, because this one's really heavy, so load होने को शायद time लगेगा. But otherwise, in that preview, you can see where it's jumping.
Okay. That's another one on the bandwidth. How much space does it eat, man?
Not really. Like when we're presenting, not much. Like we've never had a lag issue or anything.
Like I know Zoom is light, but if I use Microsoft Teams and all, Team itself takes too much bandwidth.
No. It's very light in that sense.
Okay.
I've if you can see this screen right now, you can see how much stuff is going on in there.
Yeah.
ये भी ठीक से चलता है. There's no lagging.
Okay. And what challenges you had when you made and Vishwas is using this? So बहुत बार रहता है ना, if you make presentation, you pretty much know where are things here and there. Did Vishwas tell you he had a difficulty on locating things here and there, or he does 1 or 2 rounds before he using your thing?
Oh, we go through at least 3 or 4 iterations before every class. Yeah. So he'll send me his notes and his presentations or something. Then I'll do something to it. Then I send it to him, and then he'll send me like a whole PDF with his notes on it. Then I can go change it. Then he'll get some new ideas. Then again we'll change it. So yeah, that's been our process. So he gets his PDF and he knows whatever is coming. And he's also very fluid in terms of kuch badal gaya, so he takes it. He has to
yeah. And that's his DNA. Good, awesome work, I must say. Very nice.
Anish, you're asking, can I download a Prezi file and play it offline with all animations? I think if you have the paid version, then you get that offline software, which is like a desktop software. So once you have that, you can save it to your computer and play it offline. But if you're on the basic free version, then you can't work on it offline. It has to be online.
So, Chetan, all this freeform stuff you've done in Illustrator, you said?
Yeah. So I come up with whatever idea, and then some things I find online that I can download and use straight away. Some of those stuff I take into Illustrator and then edit them a little bit and then bring in a PDF into this. But you could easily, if you have some images that you have, or if you find something else, some other images online, you could easily just import those as they are. If you don't need to, or if you don't know how to edit them in Illustrator and all that, then just find stuff that works, that already works.
All right, thanks.
I would say if you guys are creating one of your own right now, then try to use like some text, some image, and try to use the animation to move in and out.
Ketan, one more quick question. You know how you first started with an EE to go slide and then it went down to another slide. How did you make it go from that first one to the second one?
Oh, so that was, okay, so while anyone else who's already making their Prezi, you continue doing that. I'll just run through the whole tools once more, yeah, in case anyone missed out on something. So if someone joined late or whatever, yeah. So when you're here, this is the create new Prezi. And then I use this blank white one and use this template, call it Prezi trial again, maybe 2. And if you missed it in the beginning, you have to be on anyone on the web for it to be free for you, if you're using the free version. If you're using the paid version only, then you can share it with whoever you want. But like I said earlier as well, It's only when you send the link to someone they actually find it. So don't worry too much about it. At least that's my opinion. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna delete all of this again. So I hold Shift and I select all of that and I press. And then let's say we're gonna insert another text. Change the font. Change the color while we're at it. So Shashwat, you have insert animations here. One second. So we go to insert, we go to animation, and then add that zoom in. Right, and that creates that window where the camera is going to move. So in that one that you were asking, first the window is here, and then I create another zoom area. If that's selected, then I can't do it. So I have to select that, and then select add zoom area. And yeah, wherever I place this, it will basically just move whenever the next thing comes. So this is the beginning, and then when I press next, it will move this.
So it's basically just a bunch of zooms, like you zoom into one place, then zoom into another place, and then another place, and you can go deeper into that one or zoom out of that one and go deeper into another thing.
There's no limit to how much deeper or how much far back you want to go.
Makes sense why this is so good for deep. You can go really deep with this.
And remember this one as well, because this is really, I think, visually it's pretty cool that when you hold command or you hold control, mostly control on Windows, you can create this. Then when you go to the next zoom, it's going to go that fancy. How about this? If somebody already has a quote or something and they've already started making it, just put your quote in the chat and then I'll pick one and then we'll try to work on it together.
Hi, Chetan.
Hi.
Devin.
Hi, man.
I have an issue. I want to share my screen.
Okay, sure. One sec. Let me give you permission. Yeah, now you can share.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah. Easy.
Okay. So the issue is, how do I select it? If I'm moving it here,
yeah,
I have a hard time selecting this zoom area.
Oh, just try to. So right now you're in the text edit part, yeah. So just select the text. Yeah, now you can select that. And now if you double click there, it'll take you all the way. You change the size, etc.
Okay. That's done. Thank you.
Chetan, if we have written our text when we try to make a presentation, from where can we activate the zoom option?
So for the zoom thing, you have to basically insert animations and then you have to add a zoom area. So basically that whole movement of the screen will only happen when you've added zoom areas into your presentation. So first, if you have a zoom area here and then the next one is here, then when you click next, the camera is going to move from here to there.
Understood.
Okay. So Shashwat, Human potential always exists. It's just yet to be discovered. That's the only quote that's there in the chat. So let's go with that. Yeah. So you want to share your screen, and then we'll play with it.
I was just starting off right now, so I still don't have anything. But I was also curious to know, what are these story blocks? Have you ever tried this out?
I haven't tried them, but they're those, in your default thing. So the default Prezi presentations, they're like, you'll go here, and then that will break out into 3 or 4 things, and then it'll take you to one, and the second or fourth one, and then come back to the main one.
So it's just a bunch of graphics, basically.
It's a bunch of graphics already animated as well. Like it goes from one thing that's broken up into 4 or 5, and then comes back to that.
Got it.
So I would say let's talk about that other aspect now that Vivek was talking about, right? About how you're going to imagine what you want to do, right? Like the creative aspect of it. So what you tell me? What are your ideas? How do you see this? What do you want to do with it?
I mean, I see 2 parts in this thing. The first is the first line, and then the second. So I would break that up probably. Okay. And give an animation to the first part at the beginning, and like throw that only. And then the discovery can be like something zoomed in and like something cool emerges and people are discovering something.
Okay.
So I don't know. I was like, in terms of a graphic, I was thinking like maybe a human being and something that represents potential. And like when this thing comes up, human potential always exists. That whatever represents potential comes into highlight. It appears, it fades in, and then when it says it's just yet to be discovered, it zooms into that potential, and like this it's yet to be discovered comes in. But I'm not sure how to bring in these graphics and all these things right now.
Do you wanna try looking for an image that works for you?
Okay, so what you had for the 3 C's, did you create that yourself or did you find that somewhere?
I found it on this website called FreePic, and they have these vector graphics that you can download. So that one was actually...
What is it called, you said?
FreePic. FREEPIK. But I had to manipulate it because that graphic was actually a gingerbread man. And I took the outline of that and then just remove everything else from it.
Or maybe I can just see human potential and see if there's a graphic for that.
So while we're at it, if anyone else has any questions or anything, just go for it. Yeah. Santosh, you're asking, where do I need to go for this trial? Basically, if you go to prezi.com, there'll be a blue button on top saying get started. And then you just got to select the basic free version, in which you don't have to put any payment details or anything like that. Once you sign up, then it's just on the browser only. The whole thing is on the browser. So you don't have to download an app or anything. So, how many of you are actually working on something right now? Just so I know. Just put like a thumbs up or something. Then we'll switch to someone else's screen. Okay, cool. So, can we switch to Anish's screen? Anish, can you share screen?
Not yet. I'm still working. Yeah.
Is anyone else ready to share screen? Just for fun.
Chetan. Hi, Chetan. Chetan? Hi, this is Devendra here, okay?
Yeah.
So I have made a slide some 1 or 2 years back. I wanted to show it to you and see if you can give me some input about, what could have been done about something.
Yeah, share screen. Let's see.
Okay, just a second. Okay, so this is how it is.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just run through it, and then after I'm done, you can share your views.
So, cool. Run through it. Let's see.
Yeah?
Let's
Okay,
see.
I'll start.
So can I just say, like in general, when we use like PPT, right? The reason
Yeah.
I find Prezi exciting is because of those non-structured kind of movements, yeah. And what happens is when you use the template version, no, then it becomes like a PPT only, जिसमें defined movement है कि बस यहाँ से यहाँ जाएगा, यहाँ से यहाँ जाएगा, यहाँ से यहाँ जाएगा. So the only thing is that it gives that movement instead of it just fading or whatever. So I would say that if you use the templates, it's a little bit more fun than the PPT, but it's not. I don't think it becomes as exciting.
Okay.
But the thing is, you have to put in a lot of time to make it from scratch. But if you do make it from scratch, I think while you're making it itself as well, you will get some ideas. I could use this here and I could do that there. And like from this, I want to move to that and all of that. But if you do the template one, then it'll end up becoming like just a PPT with movement.
That's
That's the trap. If you if you use the template, then that's a trap.
yeah. Okay. Thank you. I think I got it what I want. It also adds the personal, I think, touch that you were talking about.
Yeah. Even if it's not as complex as what we're doing for what I'm doing for Vishwas, yeah, even if it's a really simple one, but if you've done it from scratch, it'll automatically have your own flavor in there. Whereas if you use the template, then it's going to be like a PPT only.
Okay. Cool, man.
Because it'll force you to find the right images. It'll force you to think about something a little more about how you want to represent it visually and all that.
Okay. That's great, man. Thank you.
Yes, Gargi, you can share your screen.
I've just tried to incorporate an image because you said that, and so I don't know how to play this.
So on top, there's a present button in blue.
Yeah, okay.
Cool, and press next.
I think you guys are.
So you see that small arrow down there? Or just press your right arrow key. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, fine. Nice.
Let's just go back to the first frame. Like go press left or press the other arrow. You teach best what you need to learn the most. Cool. In fact, we were working on something for that fourth session, yeah. And one of the slides is about this. I think it's similar to what you're saying. It was about how much information you retain when you're, let's say, hearing something or when you do.
Yes.
And then the last one was when you teach something.
This is from Richard Bach, and this kind of ruled my life for so many years. Because when I teach someone, then I research a lot, and then I'm so thorough with what I'm teaching that I learn the best.
Yeah. Nice.
Thanks, Chetan. Chan.
Chetan, how can we add images to our library if we want to add images to our presentation?
So the library I haven't used much, but if you just go to my library, like you go to insert and my library, and there'll be whatever you saved in your library will show up there. So let's say today, if you add an image, right? You can go to, there's a way to add it to your library. 1 second. I'm just going to insert one and see. Yeah, so if you just, whatever image you've added right now, if you just right click on that image, there's a tab saying add to my library. And when you do that, it'll always be there in your libraries. And next time you want to insert the same image, just go to insert my library and then add that image from there.
Okay, I'm trying.
Cool, Shaker, see you. Oh, Shaker's gone already.
So I'm not getting any option to, like I've downloaded an image on my system and I want to add it to my library, but I am not, if I right click on it, I'm not getting any option which says add to the library.
Have you added it to your Prezi already, or is it on your system, the image?
It's on my system, so how can I add it?
First, you add it into the Prezi either by insert image, or you can just drag and drop the image into the Prezi. Cool, Nikhil, see you.
I think we can also upload image into Prezi.
Yeah, so if you go to insert and then image, then that upload, that tab will open up on the side, and from there you can upload it.
Yes.
Or you can just drag and drop it in the, which I didn't realize until recently.
Hey Chetan, just an off question on this. Have you used it for creating videos?
Prezi, I haven't used it to make videos.
Because there is an option saying create video.
So the video thing is, like if I'm presenting right now, right, I can have the Prezi going on here. Instead of you all seeing the full screen as Prezi, I can have the Prezi just floating here while I'm talking to you. Yeah. So that's that video option. It's also in the paid version. So if you have a paid version, trial version, then you can try the video out.
Okay.
But I found it really distracting, man. It's like something moving here.
Yeah.
It could be cool as well, but you need a lot more coordination to do it right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Also, with too many moving elements, like when I went to Vishwas's website, now something interesting has happened is in his website, when you go below, you see these things which come zoom in and zoom out. Are they also made in Prezi?
No. Which things?
On his website, there are these animations which come.
No, that's just a slider on the...
Okay. Because I was trying to read and focus and they would move so fast. After some time, I started getting headache.
Yeah.
And that's when I went back to Prezi and watched some videos, and I realized that the more moving parts there are, it's very difficult for me to concentrate on the text, and because I'm so focused on the movement, that aspect was very fascinating for me. I've never experienced it before. So
on the website, it's just a slider, and I should maybe reduce the speed of that, of it moving, because I didn't realize that people might want to read it. I thought it's just like people just want to see images, right? I thought people were just scrolling, types.
Okay.
But I should probably either reduce the speed, or I'll probably just put 2 buttons so people...
Honestly, I didn't know that you are the one who are managing it. I just said because I was just connecting with the movement part of it. So,
but also the movement thing, what I was showing right now, I was just like going through it to all the thing. Yeah, when Vishnu does it, that 3Cs thing that I showed you all, he'll spend half an hour on it.
Yeah.
Talk about one thing, and only in the middle you'll see that movement. Then I'll go.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. I realized that while I'm trying to look for icons and images that I would like to have, I need to pay for them. Most of them are locked options.
Check out this. Check out FreePic. Check out Pexels.
I went to FreePic. Again, FreePic, I have to make an account if I have to use some image. So
no, only if there's like a crown on the top corner of that image, then it's a paid image. But if there's a crown on it, then it's a free image. Then you can download as is. And there's also this. So if you want like nice photographic images,
Unsplash.
Unsplash, yeah.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, Unsplash is really cool.
Yeah.
Used it for quite some time.
Chetan, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
About the starting point. How can I set the starting point to something already zoomed into a picture?
So in your animation sidebar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever animation you right click on, you can set as starting point.
Ah,
So you want
okay,
to go to
right.
the first one and right click on it and set a starting point.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Once we've made our presentation, can we, if you want to share it with somebody else, so how can we do that?
You can either add a collaborator if you want them to edit as well, or you just send them a link. So there's a share button on top, and you'll have to create a link and then share that link to them. But with the share link, they'll only be able to view it. They won't be able to edit it.
So can they present it by themselves?
They can present. Yeah, they can present it, but they won't be able to edit it.
Okay, and this will be saved on our online Prezi account only. We cannot save it in our system or mail or anywhere else.
Yeah, no, you can't. The offline version is only paid. The free version only keeps it online. You can't take it offline.
All right.
So you see the share button out here?
Yes, yes.
So if you go to that, you'll have to create a view link and then create new link and then put in whatever name you want and create link. And then if you copy this link and send it to anyone, they'll be able to view it.
Okay. And they must be connected to the network. Will they have to log into Prezi?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they need a Prezi account to view it. I think they'll be able to view it without a Prezi account. Let me try. So let's see. We go here. Let's see. We put this. And we go to another browser. Let me make sure I'm not logged in here. Yeah, I'm not. Okay, I'm going to paste that link here and let's see what happens. Yeah, I can view it without logging in. See, I'm not logged in here.
Okay.
And if you want to add a collaborator, like if you want to add someone who can edit it as well, then you go to this window where all your presentations are.
Okay.
Prezi.com and you're logged in, it will show you this window. And then you go these three dots and you add collaborators. So you can add an email. Out here, you can also mention if they can edit or comment or present.
Can they do all three?
If you let them edit, they can do anything.
Okay. Also, if you want to add, for example, a YouTube link that like in our presentation, we click and a video comes up from YouTube. Is that possible?
I don't think that works in Prezi. There is a insert video option. I haven't used it. Let me check. I think you can upload a video as it is inside Prezi and it will play.
But that video should be downloaded in our.
No, there is here. Wait.
So I was just using the video option. You can insert the thing.
Yeah, so if you go to insert up here, and if you go to video, then it opens up this on the side, and then you can put in whatever YouTube link up here. That's fine.
Okay, so there is an option.
Yeah, it will embed the YouTube video in there, and it will play when you come to it.
I can't hear anyone.
I think it's because nobody's saying anything. Natalie, can you hear us? Or at least me?
Yeah, now
Okay.
I can hear.
I noticed the same Anish was speaking about, but now
Anish, your haircut is amazing. You're looking really cute.
Thank you. I haven't cut my hair.
I know that the new look.
Thank you. It is the same Anish was speaking about.
So how do I share my presentation then?
you
Or
want
share
to
button?
you want to share it as for someone to view or for someone to edit it?
View link. Yeah, I found it. Create new link.
Hi, Chetan.
Hi.
So I got this another thing. Like, how do you like when I'm zooming into the area? I can write stuff inside that zoom area.
Yeah. You can insert anything. You can do anything inside the video. You can go as inside and do whatever. Do everything that you could do outside.
So how do you do that? Like the moment I'm trying to zoom in, it's going in and then coming out.
So can you share your screen?
Okay, just a second. Yeah. So I think this is when I zoom in.
Yep. And then try to insert something. See what happens.
So I don't know. This happened second time. The moment I'm talking to you and then I'm telling you, then I'm able to figure it out. But otherwise, it's just not. It's just coming out. It was coming out all the time. I don't know what's happening. It's perfectly staying there.
So that if you've zoomed in by scrolling, then sometimes if you click on something, it zooms back into an overview version because it thinks that you want to see the whole part of whatever you clicked on. But if you either when you scroll your arrow on one of those zoom areas and double click that, or if you find that animation in the animations tab and you double click on that, then it'll go and then it'll stay there for you to do whatever you want. But if you hold in, then there's a chance that it'll zoom back out as soon as you click on something.
If you don't mind, can you just demo what you just said in your screen?
Yeah, one second.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's say I'm going to insert another animation. Let's say I add a zoom area.
Yeah.
And let's say it's really small and it's very close to something else. Right? So then all the issues starts happening, right? Let's say, right? And now if I want to write something in there, if I'm going to write right now, I'm just scrolling in there, right?
Yeah.
I'm just scrolling in there, and if by mistake I click on this instead of this, like if I click here, it's going to come back out to this. So that's what generally happens if you're if you're going in by scrolling, right? I might happen to click on something else and then it'll think that I want to see that whole thing. So it'll zoom back out. Whereas, let's say we're here and if I now this is the one that I want, right? So these are my animations and this is the screen that I want to go to on work inside. So if I just double click here, it'll take me in there and then it'll stay there for me to put something else.
Okay, cool.
Chetan, there is an option in insert which says Storyblocks. So how do we use that and what is that for exactly?
So Storyblocks is like that, like the templates that we generally use. I mean, those template versions that were there earlier, right?
Right.
So if you can see my screen, these are the Storyblocks. So I did insert Storyblocks and this is what comes up. Now these are already pre-made animations, pre-made tables or whatever you might want to use in a regular PPT style presentation. So like, let's say I'm going to put this. So there's different maps. Let's say I put this map. So I just drag it in here, I think. Yeah. Now that's in my slide. Yeah. So this is what I inserted right now from the Storyblocks.
So it's like an already animated thing that. So that YouTube image that came, so if you click on it, the video will start playing.
Yeah. You want to see?
Okay.
I was looking for slacklining videos because that's what we're using as a metaphor for E to go.
Chetan, can you automatically animate things? Meaning, like without needing to click something, it automatically just keeps going through based on time. I know you can do that on PowerPoint, but not.
Yeah, there is one like that. I haven't looked into it much because it wouldn't have worked for what I'm doing for Vishwas, but there is a way to time it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the brain image that you had created, I don't know how you got that, but was that again Illustrator that you used to make that thing for the stations?
So it was the same. What I do is I find these images on FreePic, and then when I open it in Illustrator, I delete everything else that I don't need, and I keep just that one that I keep from it.
Okay, and then you convert it to a PDF and import it over here.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Does anyone else feel like sharing their Prezi?
I would like to share it.
Cool, go for it. Anish, if you're ready, then after this you share.
Yeah.
If you're ready, then after this you can share.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, just trying to figure out.
That's it.
Nice. Play it again. I missed the starting, I think.
Okay, 1 second.
Cool.
So this was like a drama that we read in my final semester, and it's really amazing. So.
Cool.
Chetan, one more quick question. I was playing around with this topic button on the top left, and it seems to put like this new topic on the same slide, but on the left side, it's creating like how PowerPoint creates a new slide.
Yeah.
So have you ever used this topic thing, and is that useful?
I haven't used it because that's that same idea that you see in the pre-made Prezis, where it's like, this is the topic, and then these are the subtopics. So that's what it's basically doing. It's creating a topic, and then in that topic, you can create a subtopic.
Okay.
So what happens with those is it automatically animates. You don't have to animate it, but it looks standard, like it looks like a regular default one.
Yeah, no, that's not the point. I mean, we're trying to create an experience, which means it has to do something unexpected. So better to create it ourselves rather than using this topic stuff.
So that was my whole thing with Prezi. Like when I started with that one of the default ones, right? So the same one that Devender shared, the one with the orange paint-like thing in the background. So Vishwas had already made something with that template, yeah. And when I looked at it, I was like, "अच्छा, मतलब इतना ही है क्या?" फिर मतलब ठीक है. It's not like, "Oh wow, this is amazing. Let's not use PowerPoint again." Types. But then when I threw that away, I saw some examples of some cool stuff that other people had done. And then I realized, I was like, I have to start from scratch. I can't take a template and make it look really awesome. It'll look cooler than a PPT for sure. but it's not going to look like wow. So then I realized if I start from scratch and I create it from scratch only, then that's going to happen.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. I faced the same issue. I tried with a template and I'm like, this is not it.
Yeah,
And I gave up. Then your PowerPoint, not PowerPoint, your Prezi for the fundamentals one was what inspired me. Like, wow, if you can create this, then let's find out how. So it's amazing. Thank you.
I think Prezi is like a thinking process. It's like when we think stuff in our mind, one thing, then another thing crops up. It just goes on and on.
Yeah.
Like that, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. In fact, it's kind of, I think that it's been a part of the whole creation of the course as well. Because, like I was saying, that's what I was saying. It's like a jugalbandi between Vishwas and me. He'll make something and then I'll throw something back at him, right, with the Prezi. And then he'll get some crazy new ideas from that. So it's been a part of that. Oh, Natalia is ready to share. Go for it.
Chetan, I had a quick question here.
Yeah.
Like in the PowerPoint, you make a new slide, right? Suppose now this whole thing has got cluttered and I need to start a new one. So how do I do that?
So think about a new slide. If we're doing this from scratch, right? We're not using the other bits. We're not using the template part. If we're making it from scratch, think about a new zoom area as a new slide. So if you use a new zoom area in another part of the Prezi, that means it's going to move there for that part. Okay, cool. Let's watch.
Okay. That's it.
Oh, nice.
So my challenge is that when I was making it, I was trying to see how it works. So I was trying to see if it falls in the same order that I'm thinking of. And I got really nauseous because it's like constantly zooming in and out.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you have any tips for that?
I think if you just do enough of it, you'll get used to it. Like I've been editing videos and all for a very long time, so it doesn't affect me anymore. But I think if you work on it enough, and then when you see that end product, right, which is fascinating, then I think you'll get used to it.
I think it was a pretty complicated process if we'd done it on our own. So you made it very simple for us, and thank you for that.
Thanks. You guys should. So I was telling Nancy that on the Slack Turbulence group, we'll create a Prezi channel, and then that's how we lure people into Slack. Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking that's a good idea. We should start offering more learning sessions there. I'm happy to do a couple of sessions and see who comes up there. Okay, Chetan, I gave up. I thought I figured it out, but I didn't. So I'm anyways going to share my screen and I'll tell you what the idea that I had was. So wait, maybe because my brain is overworking. I just finished a session, so. So what I was looking at was I didn't want to use any words. I just wanted to work with the quote that was shared before, human potential. And I wanted this thing to be in the center where I got this image. First of all, I had to create an account and all of that. So that took time. Now I'm not able to drag it to a point where I really want it in the center.
So since it's so small, right? That's why you're not being able to drag it. So
and then how do I make it big?
Just zoom in, just scroll and zoom in.
So I was trying to scroll I'm using a MacBook. I was pinching and opening up. It just doesn't happen for me. So
it doesn't work for me either.
It doesn't work for me. So I'm not able to zoom.
The pinch won't work. You gotta like your normal. How do you scroll in a browser? Do you use 2 fingers or 3 fingers?
Just 1 finger.
Two fingers.
2 fingers. Yeah. Okay, it's working now.
And then, so here's another trick here. If you want to move it around, right, without touching anything else, if you hold Alt or Option and then you move, then it won't move the objects. It'll just move the screen around.
Repeat again, please.
If you hold Alt or Option and then you move your mouse, as if you're dragging, as if you're clicking.
Okay.
Then it'll just move the screen. It won't move an object.
I got it. This is so much easier. I should have asked you much before.
Oh, I realized this after working on it for 10 days. And then later,
so I wanted basically to have a zoom in area here. Now I can't find that guy again. Okay. Now I can move this guy is what you're saying.
Yeah. So now, So now that's the image moving. When you put your cursor on that, click on it. Yeah, now you move it around. So that's going to change the size. If you're in the center with the 4 thing, now you can move it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Then make it small, make it go all the way.
Yeah. I don't want to create nausea for everyone else.
Chetan, quick question about the Jugalbandi you said. How did you collaborate with him? Could you work on it simultaneously, like how Google Slides allow you to do it, or how did the collaboration work?
No, what he still does is he sends me his PPTs or his PDFs that he's already got on those topics. Like he'll probably pick 3 or 4 topics for that session. So he'll send those to me and then I'll go through it and I'll come up with some ideas. If I feel like I want to directly make it, then I directly go ahead and make something of it. Sometimes I feel like I need to first have a chat with him because I might be going too far away from what he might be thinking. So then we have that conversation and then I make something. Then I send him, I add him as a collaborator so he can see it. And I also send him a PDF. But now he's learned to make his own PDFs. So it saves me some time. And then
when you say you add him to it, does that mean he can edit it while you are editing it as well?
No, only one person should be editing at a time because otherwise it won't know which change to save. So
okay,
best if one person is editing at a time.
And you said then he knows how to make his PDFs. When you say PDFs, do you mean the images?
So he makes a PDF out of the whole session, which he sends out to the participants as well. And he also makes his notes on the PDF. So that PDF, if you're in a paid version, you can just download a PDF of the whole version. But if you're in a free version, it doesn't let you do it. So we figured that, we take screenshots of each slide and then just make a PDF of it.
Smart.
Thank you for the session. I'm going to leave now. So bye. Take care.
Bye. See you. I'm going to have to push in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you, Chetan. I just wanted to say that. I think I'm going to just step back and not do it.
It's
really taking my...
Yeah, it'll come.
Yeah. It's really requiring me to focus and zoom in and zoom out. I did that the whole afternoon today.
It does tire you, yeah. Like even though I'm used to it, I still get tired once I work.
Yeah.
It does tire you a lot more.
Yeah. Have you used Neural app?
No.
Okay. Maybe next time I can share a bit about it. Yeah. I did the entire presentation today. I didn't use any slides. I just used a canvas like Mural. And I did the entire program using that because I had my layout and just, it's like a blank canvas, a whiteboard, where I can also invite collaborators to come in. And we can all move things around and do things around. It's very interactive. Yeah.
The Mural app, yeah. I think I saw it in one of the, I think I did this John Losey workshop the other day. He was using Mural.
Okay. Yeah. I just used it for the first time.
It's fun, all these things.
It's fun. So I use the Zoom for video conferencing and I use the Mural app. So no presentation, no video, nothing. I had all my stuff there and then we just kept moving around so people could engage.
And do you write on it while you're in the session?
You can do everything. Yeah. Maybe offline between you and me, since you would be curious. I'm very happy to show you what happened. I don't know what others.
So now though I have this other...
I know.
At some point. Let's make a channel on Slack about all these, about just learning through each other or something like that.
Yeah. So I really want to compliment you for taking this opportunity to just share what you know. Really, really happy to have experienced it. Yeah. I'm gonna log off and see you on Slack, and let's figure it out how to get it more moving on.
Cool.
Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the session. It was fun and something new and very, very valuable.